everyone, welcome in next Ralph's Kitchen Garden episode. I think it's gonna be 24 right now, and let's get started. So just want to share with you what I found today on the plot. Someone gave me a few fruit bushes, still don't know who, and still don't know what these bushes are, to be honest. I mean, this seems to be a gooseberry, you know, this white bark and thorns, quite easy. This, I don't know, this might be blackcurrant, I'm not sure. And I'm really puzzled with 4 of these. It seems to be similar to raspberry, so I think it might be raspberry. Anyway, guys, let me know if you identify these, you know, by looking at this video by any chance. Okay, I had to record sound for this video because there was too much wind in the background. So as you remember, I have this hole in the warmer through which the rats were coming in, and what I thought I'm gonna use to seal it was this bottom of this metal can. However, I haven't got saw which gonna cut through the metal. So what I'm gonna do instead is just use the plastic cover for now, which you can see here. And all I'm gonna do is just drill 4 holes and then, you know, attach them with these screws that you can see over here. So here it is, guys. The best I could do for now with my materials. So this hopefully gonna last for another weeks or so, until I'm gonna buy some saw which allow me to cut the can, and then I will be able to create the metal patch, which will be hold this much better. So the next thing, what I also did, I used these screws here to you know, at least temporarily make sure that they're not going to go through it, and I think it will do a good job, although I lost a lot of screws for that. Anyway, thank you very much for advice about the steel wool. So I didn't even know something like this exists, to be honest, before, so I will try to buy it at some point, and I will use it to cover the hole at the bottom of the bathtub, just in case. Here's the way I'm going to try to figure out if mice and rats try to get in through those holes. So see, I put the plugs from the newspaper in each. I mean, if they're gonna come in, they have to take them out, so they are tight enough to not be removed by the wind, I hope. So, you know, we will see. So I thought I'm gonna share one of the problems that I have here with you guys, because I want to share everything that I do on the plot and everything that's related to having a plot. So as some of you might know, I took the plot with few beehives on the adjoining plot next to mine, and initially I was excited, you know, I thought I'm gonna learn a lot from the beekeeper, but then the bees start you know, being a bit aggressive. You know, I got stung twice, and you know, without giving them any reason for it, without even, you know, touching them when they land on my head, they just literally landed, make their way through the hair, and I got stung. So at that point I start getting in touch with the plot owner. But all he could say is that he's gonna kill the whole beehive, because that's what he did before when he had problems like this. And you know, I don't know too much about bees, but shouldn't you rather try to resolve the problem and find out why they are aggressive in the first place? So, you know, I try to ask if the bees can be moved somewhere else, because I got a bit afraid. You know, I was a bit scared that when I'm gonna come here with the 3 children, and all of us will be kind of forced to work near, like, few feet near the 10 beehives right now. You know, it's a lot of beehives, a lot of bees. So also some of the beehives are 6 feet tall, and they already leaning on the one side. So imagine some, I don't know, bigger gust of wind can actually, they can collapse, and then anyone who's going to be near will be in big trouble. So so you know, because I got stung twice, and I've seen that there is something wrong with it, I start getting in touch with plot manager, a plot owner, but I didn't get any help. So, you know, the plot owner put some fencing which collapsed on the next day and had a bunch of hole in it, and he's really not interested that much. I haven't seen him once when I'm coming here every week for the last 7 months. So then I decided to take it one step further and make an official form to the company that manage the whole allotment, and ask for those beehives to be moved on the edge of the allotment, because I don't know too much about bees. So I went to the sources that do know something, and I went to the British Bee Association website, and they advise to keep the bees on the sides of the allotments, and they do not advise to have more than 3 beehives. Right now these beehives are in the middle of the allotment, and there is over 10 of them already just in last 2 weeks. Even though the plot owner had the signals that something is wrong, he decided to add 3 more beehives, guys. So I have now 12 of them already. Like 5 of them are 6 feet tall, and I'm really concerned where it's going. It's like, for example, I would like to check if the beekeeper, right, has required skills, like were the skills assessed anywhere, right? Does he have any insurance in case something goes wrong? Because these are the things that are being advised by the British Bee Association. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I just want to tell you what's going on, and I'm gonna keep you updated. So it's been 6 months since I put this weed cover with horse manure, so I think it's about time to check how the weed situation looks like. Has most of them been removed, and also if the horse manure have decomposed and there is a lot of woody bits that are still there. Anyway, I'm gonna uncover a few of these beds and we're gonna see. Okay, so I uncovered half of the bed roughly, and first thing I can see is that a lot of woody bits have not been decomposed. Now on the good side, there is not many weeds left. If you can see, we still have some survivors here and there, but I will just try to remove them for now and then keep doing it until they stop sprouting, because they have only that much energy in their roots, so at some point they're just gonna die off. But I must say that all in all, it's still quite encouraging to see hold this area almost free of the weeds. Okay, so what I've noticed so far, it's very easy to pull the weeds from the soil, which is fluffy after having horse manure on it, and also it's still easy to work with it because it's all quite wet. Anyway, the next thing is that I still notice a lot of straw and woody bits, and I will try to remove as many as I can, because while decomposing they will remove the nitrogen from the soil. Basically the bacteria that's going to decompose this they need a lot of nitrogen, and they're going to take this nitrogen from the plants that I will try to grow. And as far as I read, it might take up to whole season, so it might get better in July, but so I'll try to remove as many woody bits as I can and the perennial weeds that I can find. I want to show you something, guys. Look what happened when I put the fork in. You see, one thing to notice, there is a lot of worms, which is great, because worms are going when the organic matter is, and I didn't have too many of them before, so that looks great. And the other thing is that there is almost no sod underneath, which, as you remember, it was plenty of it, because I just dug out the sod, uprooted the whole soil, and the sod was there. Again, you see some worms and there is no sod, so that's a great news. Okay, so I try to remove as much as I can from the surface, but also there is still plenty left in the soil of all this straw and stuff that haven't decomposed. And even though worms are loving it, I'm sure this is going to pose some challenges for the vegetables to grow this season. So I still need, but that's what I had on this plot, and that's what I have to work with, right? I think it still did a great job as a mulch, removing most of the weeds. So what I need to do now is just trying to finally measure each bed, and I'm gonna use the wooden stakes that I have in this box over there. Okay, I have a problem with this recording because every single time I try to wait for the wind to calm down a bit so you can hear what I'm saying. Anyway, I hope it's good now. So what I've done is, well, each bed has to have 8 meters and 70 centimeters long, and it's got to be 30 inches wide, right? So what I did for now, I measured 18 inches from the corners of the plot, and I tried to do the straight line, right? As you can see, the string that I attach is quite helpful because I can see how straight it is. Now I've done the same on the other side. So this gives me, and what I'm sure as well is that between this pole over there and that there is exactly 870 centimeters, and the same is here. So I know that that the width of this whole bed is correct right now. So what I'm going to do now is simply measure up, go along this line and measure up respectively like 30 inches, 80 inches, 30 inches, 80 inches, where 30 inches will be bed and 80 inches will be the path between, and I'm gonna put the stakes in each corner, so that should hopefully give me quite even beds. Okay, after 1 hour later, it's all done. So yeah, as you can see, I've put the post every 30 inches and 18 inches, and what I also done is I use the string occasionally just to see if I'm not getting too wide or too narrow on both sides. So as you can see, it looks quite good. And also what I've noticed is that, you see, this is when the last bed is gonna end, and I still have quite a lot of space between this and the strawberry bed. So what I might do is extend the last bed in here to 40 inches instead of 30, and just basically put more vegetables on it, which is always good. Now I have a question for you guys, because I kind of stuck with one decision. I'm trying to debate if I should do it or not for last week. So the question is, should I shape these beds? What I mean by that is, should I scrape the soil from the path and put it on the bed, effectively creating raised bed? Now the good side of raised bed is that it drains better, and it kind of shows you where your beds are, right? Which creates nice definition. Now what the drawback of this would be is that what I will have to do is get the soil from the paths, when it was actually covered by the wheat cover for the whole winter, and what I will do right now is uncover all the weeds that are like 2-3 inches underneath. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread more weeds on the bed, right? Because what I have right now on the bed is just this compost, which hopefully doesn't have too many weed seeds, where the soil, from the other hand, have plenty of them. So so the problem is that I will have more weeds than I would have otherwise. The good side is that I'm gonna have raised beds. So, well, the other thing is that this soil is quite good. I think I have a nice loam soil as far as I did the soil test, which I'm gonna make a video soon. So it drains good anyway. However, if I want to grow some winter crops in here, by some chance this area gonna get a bit soggy, then the raised bed will still keep the plants safer above the water level. So So I'm still debating. And the truth is that I'm expecting a lot of weeds anyway, because this is the first season, so it's gonna take a lot of time to remove all these weed seeds from the 2 inches of this soil, probably the whole summer. At least that's what I think. So anyway, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know, what do you think I should do, what you would do on my place. Okay, so that's it for today. The bed looks okay, I guess. Let me know what you think about shaping the bed. Should I put the soil on the beds or not? Also, if you have any opinion about the bees, guys, and you know something about them as well, also any opinion is welcome. You know, I need to resolve this problem as soon as possible. So anyway, I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next weekend then, guys. Take care. Bye.